This is like an in-depth video, and it's like, what is 3-hour sex without foreplay, you know? So here's the foreplay and lubricant with free shipping and handling. By the way, I want to stress that I'm not a Jeff Bezos dick rider. I'm actually kind of an Elon Musk dick rider, and I'm actually a rapper, but most rappers talk about their favorite rappers in the ways I talk about these guys. And by the way, I also want to stress that I haven't gone to school for business, but I do a lot of fucking research on self-growth psychology, marketing, modern culture, spirituality, and a lot of other things. So I tend to pay a lot of attention to things that successful people have in common, and everything within and beyond that go into the whole shit. So without further ado, do you guys ever see something that makes you just want to take a shit on everybody? Like just take everyone and lay them down and take a shit on all their chests? Well, you can't do something like that if you don't at least acknowledge what they're saying, right? Cause shit, bro, it may be something you don't really know. Well, this happened to me recently. There's a Facebook page called Goalcast. I think I unfollowed them after seeing this. The comments on this video, that shit was my last straw. Like if you're gonna follow a page like Goalcast, at the top of their story is what it says on a Facebook page. It says, "We're in the dream business.
We want to inspire the world. One inspired dream at a time."
There are like 10 million fucking people following this page. And when you look at the comments on their videos, with a story like that, you could only imagine the videos are pretty inspirational, right? I think they are. If they are, there must be some inspirational comments there too, right? They have a thing on their show. It tells these stories of people who are like really well known for what they do. Everyone from Tony Robbins to Ed Sheeran to Abe Lincoln to Oprah to Robert Downey Jr. And a month or two ago, they had a video for Jeff Bezos. And if you look at the comments, not all of them, but most of them, I looked at least 300 or 400 of them. I found probably 1 or 2 that were like, dude, he fucking... that's awesome! Maybe we can build an empire like that too! But other than that, percent of the comments fucking shit all over him for reasons that completely dismiss the risks he has taken. They completely dismiss the discipline and strategy that went into successfully counteracting their consequences. They completely dismiss the upside of what he plans to do with them. And they definitely fucking completely dismiss the importance of that upside. So let me review 7 of these comments. I'm gonna leave the names out because these are from Facebook. If these were YouTube comments, I wouldn't, because that'd be cool. It'd be like a shout out type of thing, I guess. Number 1, now he dreams about how badly he can treat his workers. I understand this was probably a joke. In the beginning of the video, it says as a kid, he dreamed about going to other planets. So it's like, this is what he does now. But if you look at his interviews, I watch at least 2 or 3 a month. And I don't remember the last time I saw one in which he didn't speak in depth about artificial intelligence and space travel. If he's talking about space all the time, he's probably
still dreaming about it.
As far as treatment of his workers, you may want to keep watching. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' wealth increases by $275 million every single day. Meanwhile, Amazon workers have to rely on food stamps and public assistance just to survive. This is what a rigged economy is all about. 275 million? That's a lot of money, right? But honestly, 276 million is more, and 274 million is less. But do you think he just woke up one day with that amount of money? I see this picture everywhere. Still, here is a photograph of Jeffrey fucking Bezos in 1995. This is literally also a picture of me in my everyday life after work with no hair. But I wonder what kind of shit was going on in his head back then. Do you think he was thinking about all the people who are gonna have to rely on food stamps and public assistance just to survive? Or do you think he was thinking of building rockets and commercializing spaceflight so that he can visit space and we can too? No fucking human being on this planet with a net worth in 2018 of at least 10 billion or 1 billion or 100 million, honestly, anything at all. None of these people are not putting a majority of their money by the time of, if not after their death, into the ultimate bettering of humanity, whether they know it or not. Name one fucking person in 10,000 years from now, from this very moment, who is not gonna be inevitably putting their money into the bettering of humanity. You have 10,000 years to find them and make sure that they're still alive when the time is up. And I will give you this YouTube channel and a free side of lubricant and foreplay, but
Only if you're a girl.
But until then, you want to say these people are relying on food stamps and public assistance. The only thing in my opinion, if that's the case for more than a minority of them, the only thing in my opinion and research most likely separating them from fixing that is themselves, their mindsets, and the limiting beliefs they have accepted throughout their lives. You could say the game is rigged. Bro, if the game is rigged, you don't seem very happy about that. If you don't seem very happy about it, pointing it out isn't really gonna do anything. Maybe you will. But what are you gonna do? Unrig it? You don't just undo something like that. The economy isn't a fucking Word document, Sally. I wouldn't be surprised if the government can't fix the economy either. So who are you gonna rely on? Them? If you have to work anywhere and rely on food stamps and public assistance to survive, why work there? Like, is that Jeff Bezos' problem? Shit, bro, if he owns the company, you could definitely say it is. Like, why the fuck not? But at the same time,
What if it's your problem?
Who do you think gives more of a shit? Because at the end of the day, that alone is ultimately up to you, is it not? Number 3, build an empire. That's great and all, but how about end world hunger and homelessness and really have a legacy? People talk about things like world hunger and homelessness like they're the worst things in the world. I don't know, a lot of things suck, but compared to those, I feel like disease is pretty bad. I feel like destruction's pretty bad. I feel like the evolution of technology could be pretty bad. Those things are fucking happening everywhere. And a lot of people are quick to see videos like this and pretend those don't exist, so they can bring up
World hunger and homelessness like
those are the only 2 fucking legacy-worthy problems worth solving. Those aren't gonna end the world. I feel like disease could. I feel like destruction could. I feel like the evolution of technology could. I mean, my feelings couldn't. But why not worry about one of those first? Because if we scatter our focus, we scatter our results. But if some of us work on the most important things, the most potentially world-ending, and the ones that don't fucking require like tens of trillions of dollars to really get a handle on, will probably get handled by people who look at them and see the biggest problems in the world. And I think that's okay. I feel like it's all about perspective. And if you want to know what the richest man on the planet in 2018 plans to do with his money other than, or instead of, throwing it at a bunch of... Here is Jeff Bezos' perspective, because he might be spending $150 million on a mansion or something, but his net worth is frighteningly more than that. And if it's gonna be one thing, it's a big fucking thing that's so big that it's bigger than all of us combined. He wants to make space travel accessible to anyone. And the reason why is not what most people think. He said this in an interview. I'll link it in the description below. I'm pursuing this work because I believe if we don't, we will eventually end up in a civilization of stasis, which I find very demoralizing. Jeff Bezos does not fucking sound like that. But we all enjoy a dynamic civilization of growth and change. And let's think about what powers that. If you take your body, your metabolic rate as a human, as just an animal, you need food, that's your metabolism. You burn about 100 watts, the same as a 100-watt light bulb. We're very efficient. Your brain is about 60 watts of that. Here's the kicker. If you extrapolate from that, on average, in developed countries, our situational metabolic rate is 11,000 watts.
11,000 watts.
11 fucking thousand fucking
electric watts.
And growing.
For a century or more, it's been compounding at a few percent a year. Now, if you take baseline energy usage globally across the whole world and compound it at just a few percent a year for just a few hundred years, you have to cover the entire surface of the Earth in solar cells. So that's the real energy crisis. And it's happening soon. So 100 years or 2 may seem like a lot, but in a way, it's really not that much time. So he's saying we will have to cap and limit our energy usage. And if that happens, I don't know if we would survive without space travel in that case. So it's a very important problem. It's not urgent. It requires so much fucking money. It's not homelessness. It's not world hunger. Those fucking suck. They are unfortunate, very unfortunate, but they are nothing compared to this. Number 4. If Goalcast was around in the 1800s, they would have probably highlighted the determination and ingenuity of slave traders as well. George Washington was pretty determined, right? I feel like Thomas Edison, maybe Thomas Jefferson, they were pretty ingenious, right? These guys were around in the mid to late 1700s, I'm pretty sure. But is it that hard to look at people and acknowledge that it's possible for them to do extraordinary things and terrible things at the same fucking time? Is it? Really? It's a genuine... I really don't understand that. What's so difficult about it? He was the first president of the United States. He invented the light bulb. He wrote the Declaration of Independence. These people were fundamental to the starting of the country that I live in. And regardless of my political beliefs, that is a fact that probably will not change anytime soon. But I can't learn anything from their positive impacts on the world. You know why? Because they were fucking slave owners. I don't know, I feel like the logic in that is very self-sabotaging. Am I endorsing slave ownership? Bro, if I'm endorsing slave ownership by saying this, then water is dry, the earth is flat, and
We'll tase the
my point is that you can always learn something from people you don't respect. No matter what, there are absolutely no ways around this. And the fact that success leaves clues. Number 5, disgusting human being. Being rich or greedy does not make a person great. He reminds me how greed, arrogance, egotistical, cunning, lack of empathy, or compassion, he is a model of what a human being should not be. Disgusting comment. Not making your personal intentions, though philanthropic, as unavoidable as the fucking brand of your company that's supplying them does not necessarily make a person greedy. This reminds me how ignorance, foolishness, carelessness, assumption, lack of open-mindedness, or understanding. This is a model of what a comment should not be. 6. Goalcast, you just lost your good standing with me. Jeff Bezos is a greedy piece of shit. You left out the part that tells how he treats his workers like slaves. Goalcast Goalcast fail on this one. Does he treat them like slaves? Maybe he's so fucking high up on the chain that people below him refuse to tell him what's wrong. I don't know, my dad told me a lot of the biggest companies do shit like this, and it kind of makes sense. Like, I could be wrong, but the people at the bottom may be getting shit on, and a lot of customers aren't really happy because of it, and the people above the bottom are looking at the people above them and saying that everything is okay because it's too much work to take on that responsibility and change it and admit that something is wrong on your own part. Now, this may or may not be the case for Amazon. I'm not gonna try to make any assumptions here, but Jeff Bezos himself does not fucking treat anybody like a slave. He doesn't have time. Have you ever heard him laugh? Nobody in the universe who laughs like that would ever treat anyone like a slave. Can he be a dickhead? Of course. He owns what, the second most expensive company in the world? How could someone do that and just be nice all the time? I feel like that might be a trick question when you consider who owned the first expensive company on the planet before Tim Cook did. I saw in a comment once that when you're running a company like that, it's less of a company and more like a military in a way. Jeff Bezos is under the impression that Amazon treats its workers spectacularly. And maybe that's not true. There's so many people who work at Amazon that will talk about how shitty it is. Anyone who hates on Amazon's paying and benefits probably supports a senator like Bernie Sanders. Sanders tweeted requesting that any Amazon employee should talk about their experience working there. Then Amazon publicly responded themselves, something they apparently do very rarely, and said, "We have been in regular contact with his office and have offered several times for Sanders and his team to tour one of our fulfillment centers. To date, he still has not seen one. In the last year, Amazon is proud to have created over 130,000 jobs. In the US, the average wage for a full-time associate in our fulfillment centers, including cash, stock, and incentive bonuses, is over 15 an hour before overtime." This was like a month ago. They said it also provides employees with a comprehensive benefit package, including health insurance, disability insurance, retirement, and company stock, up to 20 weeks of paid leave, and innovative benefits like leave share and ramp back, funny names, which give new parents flexibility with their growing families. These benefits are all the same for fulfillment centers and customer service employees as they are for senior executives. They are also now encouraging all employees to take Bernie up on his request and talk shit basically with their experience. On top of all of this, the Amazon Kindle that cost a pretty penny when I bought it is pretty much a piece of shite. With only Amazon paid apps available, Amazon has monopolized their product to the point of worthlessness. I have an Amazon Echo Show. I think the physical design of the product is pretty cool. It's sleek, kind of trendy, it's a little bit futuristic, but the app for the Echo is fucking bullshit, garbage, ass dumpster juice, fucking diaper filling, fucking, I don't really like it. But you know what? That device costed a pretty penny when I bought it, but it's pretty cool still because I use it to repeat to me my long-term goals out loud 4 times a day during which I'm at home. And that to me is worth more than the device itself. I guess these Goalcast followers don't care that much about their goals. I don't want to sound that petty in this video, but I hope I covered enough. I know there are so many holes you could poke in these arguments, but I had a lot of other shit to work on this month, and if I didn't, I would probably be able to tackle a lot of those in here. There's so many opinions on shit like this. I think if you want money, you gotta go get it, and worry about yours, not someone else's, because I looked it up earlier. Some sites said 89, some sites said $241 trillion on this planet. And I think it's pitiful to a degree. Seriously, that a country of 400 million people are whining that the richest of them has his own net worth at $160 billion and growing. I find that inspiring, but I really don't see a shortage of success there. What I see is a bunch of politicians trying to push an agenda that a shortage of success is all there seems to be, whether they realize it or not. Like, maybe that's not their intention, maybe it's not what they want, but from some perspective, that definitely might just be the case. And I also see how unfair it is to exploit that shortage as a concept, consciously or unconsciously. What do you guys think? Also, what other ridiculous media fiascos do you guys want me to talk about in the future? I had so much fun making this one. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description of all my social media. Make sure to leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I'll see you then.